name's Maggie. I'm the member of the month at Alpine. So I currently live in Merced, California. It's like about an hour away. I live there with my husband and my 15-month daughter. And yeah, I'm an assistant professor at UC Merced. I grew up in Massachusetts, so on the other side of the country, in a small town that is next to the coast. And I started climbing about 10 years ago. So I met my husband, Pat, in Hawaii when we were in grad school. And he was a climber before he had moved to Hawaii. And we would always go back and go visit his parents who live in Southern California near Joshua Tree. And we'd go to Joshua Tree and we'd sort of climb, but not really climb. And through that entire time when we were living in Hawaii, really focused in on surfing and doing that kind of thing. Enjoying the ocean more than climbing. And then we moved to Germany in 2016. And there really aren't very many waves in Germany, it turns out, but there are a lot of climbing gyms and there's a lot of rock in Europe. And so we ended up going to climbing gyms and going climbing outside and started learning that way. Joshua Tree, and I think that Pat put me on this 5'8" hand crack, and I can picture it pretty well, and really struggled figuring out how to climb a hand crack. I've gone back and led it since then, but it's definitely kind of funny thinking about that. And another time that we went, and this was all throughout grad school, so we would periodically go out to California and go climbing. I remember we also went to Red Rocks one time, and I just kind of remember being completely terrified. In Red Rocks, you have to hike a little bit up into the canyon, and you're kind of already high up, and then Pat goes up and he puts up a rope, and it's terrifying to have to actually try to climb. And so I just remember being totally afraid. And I think Pat likes to joke that he's never seen anybody as scared as me when I first started to climb. So that's kind of something different, because I figured out how to keep going, I guess. Climbing keeps us sane, even with the child sort of running around the house, and we make it a priority to come and climb because it helps keep us grounded. It helps us also develop community and find friends and just other people to climb with. That's been really important. I think that, I don't know, I've always thought that the friends that I've made in climbing gyms and through climbing have been the strongest friends that I've had. So for example, we just went back to Germany, or not Germany, we went to France this summer, and we met friends that we made in Germany, even though we haven't seen them for the last 4 or 5 years. And that was really nice to go and do that. I think the community is really strong. It seems like everybody's really friendly. It's kind of fun to see people, especially newer climbers, really try to push themselves. I don't think that's always apparent in other gyms where you get to see people really try. It also motivates you to really try when you see everybody else trying around you. And so I think that's a really encouraging aspect of coming to this gym in particular.
I think she's the most fun person to see, succeed climbing. We've had some of the biggest adventures together, that's for sure, as far as going outside. And she didn't start really enjoying going high. And now she goes on pretty monstrous missions. Well, we were going on pretty monstrous missions until recently. But.
And to keep trying routes, keep pushing yourself, and not to get scared by people around you or by the rock climbs, or try to figure out a way of getting outside. And I think that's really a special place in climbing, is you can train inside and do all the climbs, and that can be really fun and it's really enjoyable. And then you can translate all of those skills to being outside and really enjoying nature. And I think that's really powerful.